is a great deal. We won't go into the whole police arrest thing because it's Filipino Day. But this is, and then if you want to know, and we'll just stay nice and loose. I can't do it. This is good for a loose person. If we start running into troubles, I'll just fake it. Yeah. But so here you have this. This is Larry Hartzell's probably catch wrestling. Is you stun them and you create an opening here. This shoots up. If you have to, you get this shoulder, your armpit on a shoulder, and you get a choke from the rear hammer lock. Now, what's interesting about it is, if you're pushing up here, it'll only go from here to here. But if you bring this to here, you start raising his wrist and hand in painful heights, but it'll elevate the potential for your grip. And if you have a little bit of trouble, take your armpit and jump on his shoulder, and that should get you close enough to do this choke. So basically, you've turned the rear armbar hammerlock into the wing choke. It's not wing chun, it's wing choke. And that's a kind of a finishing deal, you know. You can choke them out. But you have the takedown, and then you have the arm break, which is very scary, but you didn't see it. You probably felt it.
Yeah.
You know, felt it.
Finger lock too.
Yeah.
Finger lock on the back of it.
And so, but the takedowns though are those three. And so that's just something to do. And I've used this a lot in police work, and it's not perfect. One of the major escapes is if you take this hand and clasp your hands behind your back. You're very, very, very tight. Now, watch me do this. So you're kind of bent over from the situation. You're like this. All of a sudden, thrust both hands down and as far down as you can, and sit straight up. And that usually breaks the hold, and then you come out of it. So that's an escape. The other escape is to drop dead, turn on your side and drop dead like a marionette with strings cut. You'll fall right out of the thing. And that's an important lesson that I learned in police work is with grappling and these holds, we expect a certain amount of resistance for it to work. And if you just go dead, that resistance is not there and it can cause a slip out. So one night I had to show this. Very early on in Texas, guy throws a punch. I wrap this guy up, right, and take him, hit him his head in the car, handcuff him. And the other Texas police are like this. They've been in business 10, 12, 14. Yeah, but I've been in the Army, military police. So I was not a rookie, but I was a rookie teaching people stuff. And so I come into work about 2 days later, and here are all these veterans trying to do that at the squad room. I said, what are you trying to do? Well, hey, we're trying to do what you did that old boy the other night. And I had to show them the rear armbar hammerlock. And they started doing it, and they liked it. And then they arrest this stumbling drunk. And they stopped me, they called me over and they said, this guy must be some kind of martial arts master because he dropped right out of that armbar. I said, what did he do? Well, he was here and he fell down. I said, he's not a master, he's just really drunk. And he was so loose, he just dropped right out of the hole. And that is an interesting thing about a lot of these control deals is they're not perfect by any stretch. And when we're doing them, it has to last a while. When you're up against a lot of stuff. Nick Hughes has a term called power struggling to escape. And it's absolutely nothing that you could teach. It's just power struggling. Carrying on my head. And it's a caveman escape, And Nick Hughes smartly calls it nicknames at that. And what were you saying?
I was going to say, you used to talk about the beginning and middle and end. Perfect lock it, where the lock is. The beginning of when you just start with the lock, what you get out of.
Early phase, mid phase, and late phase.
Right. I say that concrete separate.
And so what you need to do is start making your list. What are the early phase escapes, the last mid escape, and late phase escapes. And like I said, with choking, there is no late phase. Because you're in and it's over it can be over very, very quickly. And so anyway, I wanted to mention the armbar because it's problematic. And so now, here, well, let's just do this empty-handed, and then we'll switch to the ones. He throws that punch. This is one of Remy's favorite takedowns. Is that movement. And so that comes in. You stun him. You know, this goes from 12 o'clock to about 9 o'clock, and you notice the manipulation. Biceps down, elbows up, and I'm somewhere on the elbow. I get this, and then I'm going to have to ad-lib the direction depending on where this is. You know what I mean? And so and if you use the chin now, it's even worse to take them down. So, and it's we call it the Remy armbar, and it was his favorite, one of his favorite things. So slow motion. Never this. Oh, yeah. I don't even like some of these other positions, but this is pretty good. And you gotta get this. It's perfect. Straight arm bar to the side, and then you just make the space for him to go down. Let's just do that.